What if I told you that there are 3 prophecies from the book of Daniel that have not yet been fulfilled? What if everything you thought you knew about the end times was incomplete? These are not just ancient predictions, they are divine revelations given over 2,500 years ago, waiting to unfold, possibly in our lifetime. Could we be living in the last days without even realizing it? Daniel was given visions so precise, so shocking, that they foretold the rise and fall of empires long before they even existed. But the final events he described, they are yet to come. Are you ready? The countdown has already begun. In this video, we will unveil 3 prophecies from Daniel that are still waiting to be fulfilled. By the time we finish, you will never see the world the same way again. The fulfillment of the 70 weeks prophecy. Daniel, a young Hebrew captive, was taken from Jerusalem when Babylon conquered his homeland. But Daniel wasn't just any prisoner, he had a gift that allowed him to interpret dreams and see the future. A gift so powerful that it saved his life and might save ours too. Daniel 9 speaks of a prophecy known as the 70 weeks, a timeline detailing world events leading to the Messiah and the end times. But what if this prophecy didn't just predict Jesus' first coming, but also pinpointed the exact moment of the final judgment? If that's true, then we are marching toward a divine countdown that cannot be ignored. This prophecy was so precise that it predicted the very year Jesus would begin his ministry. And it also tells us what happens next. Events so profound they could shake the world as we know it. Daniel 9:24-27 outlines a shocking timeline, revealing that these 70 prophetic weeks represent 490 years. And here's where things get intense. We are currently living in the gap between the 69th and 70th weeks. The final 7 years, also known as the tribulation, could begin at any moment. But here's the chilling part. Signs of this last 7-year period are already appearing. The prophecy began in 457 BC, when King Artaxerxes of Persia commanded the rebuilding of Jerusalem. If you count forward 483 years, you land at 27 AD, the exact time of Jesus' ministry. This means Daniel's prophecy wasn't just accurate, it was perfect. But then, something happened. The prophetic clock paused after Jesus' crucifixion, and for 2,000 years we have been living in an intermission known as the Church Age. However, the final week has not been cancelled. It is only waiting for the right moment to begin. The rise of the Antichrist. Daniel had a vision unlike any before. He saw 4 monstrous beasts, each representing a global empire. But it wasn't just the beasts that caught his attention. It was something far more sinister. A little horn emerged among them, uprooting 3 other horns in its wake. This little horn wasn't just another ruler, it was the Antichrist. Daniel 7:8 describes it. This horn had eyes like the eyes of a human being and a mouth that spoke boastfully. This figure is not just a political leader, he is the ultimate deceiver, the final dictator, and the enemy of God's people. According to Daniel's vision, the Antichrist will rise from a revived version of the Roman Empire, uproot 3 leaders to gain power, speak blasphemous words against God, persecute the saints and rewrite history to fit his agenda. Revelation 13 expands on this vision, describing the Antichrist as a beast rising from the sea, empowered by Satan himself. He will perform miraculous signs, deceive the nations, and enforce a system requiring everyone to take a mark, the mark of the beast, to buy or sell. Daniel 9:27 warns that the Antichrist will confirm a 7-year peace treaty with Israel, but halfway through, he will break it and desecrate the temple, declaring himself to be God. This moment, called the abomination of desolation, will trigger the Great Tribulation, a time of suffering so intense that Jesus himself said, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time." Matthew 24:21. The Bible warns us that before the Antichrist fully takes control, there will be chaos, economic disasters, wars, and global unrest. People will be desperate for stability, and in that moment the Antichrist will rise as a false Messiah, a leader who appears to have all the answers but is in reality the greatest deceiver in human history, the kingdom that will last forever. After all the chaos, after the rise and fall of world empires, one final kingdom will emerge, the kingdom of God. Daniel 2:44 declares, "In the days of these kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed." This will not be an earthly empire, it will be God's eternal kingdom. Jesus Christ himself will reign as king. Wars, suffering, and corruption will be no more. God will dwell among his people forever. Revelation 21:4 gives us this beautiful promise, "And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain." But here's the most important question: who will enter this kingdom? John 3:3 gives us the answer: "Except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of God." This kingdom is not for the powerful, the rich, or those who rely on their own goodness. It is for those who have been born again through Jesus Christ. At the end of time, every person will face a choice. Will you be part of God's kingdom? Or will you remain in a world that is destined for destruction? These prophecies are not just ancient predictions, they are warnings and they are invitations. The question is, will you be ready when the final chapter begins?